January 2020, so we've been operating for about a year and a half with the goal of improving the environment for both the people and the nature that lives here.
Chez nous, ici, surtout au nord du Togo, beaucoup de personnes utilisent des pesticides, des engrais chimiques, et ça, ce n'est pas bon. Ce n'est pas bon pour le sol. Et donc, nous sommes en train de mettre des systèmes qui permettra d'éviter l'utilisation de ces choses chimiques qui n'est pas bon pour l'environnement.
So yeah, you can literally, so all of that last year was like this. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's right next to, I mean, it was the same soil. So, and especially in the dry season, there would be nothing. There'd be it would just be barren ground. Just last week, we had a nature camp for 10 high school boys who were able to come and stay at the site for 3 days and learn about all sorts of sustainable agricultural techniques, from tree nursery making to composting. And this coming week, we'll do the same thing for the female high school students. We'll have 10 high schoolers stay with us, do the same thing. Yeah, it's been slightly difficult finding funding just because we are a small project and we don't yet have any connections to some larger NGOs. But we're hopeful that once people see the wonderful work that we do here, that we will find funding and people who are willing to support us. Well, $1,000 would go to funding our interns. Basically, we have high school interns who come to work and also to learn about sustainable agriculture. And the truth is, in northern Togo, there's not many other options for students to make money during their summer vacations. So a lot of students will actually go to Ghana to do gold mining, which is very dangerous. So we're very happy to kind of be able to provide an alternative to that. That keeps people in the region and also allows them to like learn better skills and also like is safer. So we had $1,000. That's probably what we do. Safer. So we had $1,000. That's probably what we do. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties. Let's see if we can get this to keep playing. If not, we'll keep moving. All right. Well, we will be posting the video online, so you can see it there. For whatever reason, it's not playing all the way through, but we're just going to keep on moving. Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Kirsten. Nope, not going. Okay. Now, you may be asking, where exactly is Pisces? And the short answer that you can tell from this map is that it's not for here. There's many puns about Togo and Benin and Ghana, just because they happen to relate to words in English. But yes, you can see it's that skinny sliver of a country there in West Africa. It's about 50 miles wide, and then I think about 400 miles long. They've got a short coastline. And then just goes way up. And so we're all the way up in the north. And we're going to take a quick trip there. So we're going to leave the White House, zoom out. You can see all of Washington, D.C. You get to see some of the eastern shore of Virginia. Then you see the eastern seaboard. We zoom out over the Atlantic Ocean. And then we're going to kind of slowly come into West Africa. You can see Ghana, Togo, and Benin, our neighbors right there. And there we go. And you can see the center of Pisces coming in to focus just south of Burkina Faso, in the north of Togo. You can start to see some of the lakes and forests that are in the area, but also notice that a lot of it isn't green. There's a lot of barren land. That's because people a lot of times cut down trees for firewood so they can cook their food. You can see the lake that's just north of us in the regional capital of Dapong. And now you can start to see some of the trees. There's a stream to the north of us, and you can see some of the fields. And then finally, there we are. You can see Pisces. You can see our fence. You can see some of our roundhouses in our patio. And so hopefully in a few years, this will look very different. The more we plant trees and the more we improve the soil in the fields, this should become greener and greener. And you really should be able to see that difference from, outer space, well, not outer space, but from this satellite footage. So we'll be posting kind of, incremental developments. So you can see how we started and what we look like now. All right, and now we're gonna have a quick a welcome and thank you from our administrative director, my good friend and colleague, Kareem. And he's also gonna give you a quick update about what's going on right now in Togo.
Pour la première levée des fonds de PISCES, je suis Karim, le directeur administratif de PISCES. Donc, actuellement, nous sommes en train de faire la deuxième partie de la clôture. Ici, on a creusé et c'est cette terre-là que nous allons utiliser pour la fabrication des briques. Et cette brique-là va nous servir à construire des cases rondes. Et ces cases rondes-là vont abriter les poules, les chèvres. On est en train de récolter le maïs parce que nous sommes à la période des récoltes. Bientôt, nous allons récolter aussi notre bissap bio. Et on fera maintenant du jus de bissap de temps en temps ici. Ici, c'est les feuilles mortes, par exemple, c'est les feuilles d'arachide qu'on a essayé de ramasser. On a fait des grands tas et ces tas-là nous serviront à produire du compost. Merci, grand merci pour tous les amis qui sont aux États-Unis, qui nous aident à trouver des financements et d'autres sont là qui nous aident à nous donner certaines informations utiles pour notre PISCES. Donc, grand merci pour tous ce que vous êtes en train de faire.
Great. Thank you so much, Kareem, for saying hello and for thanking everyone. I believe Kareem is actually on the video call. Unfortunately, we weren't able to translate all of this into French, but he's happy to be here with us. And Kareem is really, he works so incredibly hard. We could not do this without him. And I believe it's so important that we really do share this similar vision, that if we work together and that if we kind of learn from nature and apply some of these techniques such as composting and reforestation and growing plants with each other so that they're working in a symbiosis, that we can help improve things for us. Great. Without further ado, we're gonna announce our raffle basket, some of our raffle basket items. You can see a raffle basket here. Came all the way from Togo, which is definitely a fun thing to do. I should mention that the trip is not as quick as it was in the video. It is about a 12-hour flight to get to the capital of Lomé, followed by a day-long bus ride, and then about an hour-long moto ride to get to our site. So it is, from here, it's not the most accessible, but with modern transportation, it's gone a lot easier. And thank God we have WhatsApp and lots of other communications that allow us to stay connected despite the distance. So you can see our raffle basket. Again, for every $10 donation, one raffle ticket will be entered in your name. You can see our links to donate via PayPal at PISCES Africa and Venmo at Togo PISCES. You can also visit our website, www.togopisces.com, and there's a link, there's a button called Donate Now to donate. For those of you who have already donated, thank you so very much. We're a little bit behind, but we'll be sending out thank you notes and receipts to everyone early next week. We really appreciate your donations. We wouldn't be able to do this without your support. And really, since we are a small nonprofit, a little bit goes a long way. I mean, with just $10, we can plant and protect 10 trees. And trees do everything from, help retain water to cool the soil, all that kind of stuff. For $200, we're allowed to sponsor one intern for a 2-month-long training program, which provides a valuable alternative to traveling south or to other countries to do, like working on another like industrial farm or gold mining, both of which are very dangerous and hard activities. So this keeps them in the region and allows them to learn valuable skills that they can apply in their own communities. And of course, if you're able to donate a little bit more, such as $1,000, that's all we need to host a 3-day-long youth nature camp. And you'll learn about all these projects in just a little bit. Great. So one of the things that we have in the raffle basket is this artisanal fabric that's handmade by a women's group in Dapong, which is the largest city in the area. You can see vibrant colors. It's kind of a part of the traditional ceremonial outfits that a lot of people wear in the area. And we also have coin purses made from the same women's group. You can see here, the women at work making these fabrics. And the center that they're working for is the Center for the Self-Promotion of Women. Unfortunately, in Togo, there's a rather large gender inequality between the men and the women, with the men having a lot of the economic resources, even though the women are the ones who are a lot of times, taking care of the family, providing for the food and all of that. So this center teaches women valuable skills, such as how to make these traditional fabrics, and also how to manage finances and budgets and all that kind of stuff, so that they're able to make money and then use that to provide for their families. So we're really happy to work with them and collaborate with them. They're a fantastic project to support. And you can see here some of the weavers who work for SEDAF. Great. We also have some hand-carved wooden elephants that were made by my friend Baka. He was very kind and made these elephants specifically for these raffle baskets. And so everyone is unique and different. You can see him here in his shop in Dapong. Yes. Really, and he's going to actually give us a quick tour of his shop right now.
Je suis sculpteur depuis 30 ans. J'ai fait mon apprentissage il y a de cela 30 ans que je travaille d'abord. Je travaille le bois de laine, le bois de teck, la farine. Et c'est mon activité. Donc, là, tout ce que je fais, tout ce qu'il y a à voir là-bas, c'est le bois de laine. Et ce qui est en teck, c'est le bois de teck. Et voilà aussi ici le bois de teck. Ça, c'est le gardien, chaise gardien.
So thank you, Baka, for that. Baka's a really good friend. I was walking around the street one day and kind of passed by a shop, and we started talking and said hello, and we've been friends basically for the past 5 years. So really happy to kind of work with him and help him support him in that. Great. The last things that we're going to highlight for right now is Neho Liqueurs. They produce a soda bee. Soda bee is a traditionally distilled palm wine that tastes similar to spiced rum. And the ones that we have here are flavored with coconut. And basically soda bee is very important for a lot of ceremonies, such as funerals, marriages, births, all that kind of stuff. It can be given as gifts and shared with others, just to kind of show that you are together. And really plays a big role in the culture and ceremonies that happen there. We have a signature cocktail that we have been making. It's called the Moba Shake, in honor of the people who live in northern Togo and the dance that they do, which I get to see a little bit of later. You can see the recipe there. It's very fruity and tropical. And if you add a rim of spicy sugar, add a little bit of a tan raffle basket, you can make this and give it a shot. Hibiscus juice is something that we're actually able to grow at our site. And we planted earlier in the season, and now we're basically ready to harvest. So we'll be able to make this hibiscus juice that's completely local and organic at our site pretty soon. Great. Thank you so much for your donations. So far, we've actually raised $3,013 towards our goal of $5,000, which will support us and continue and allow us to keep doing this work. You can see here a recent photo that Kareem took of a hornbill that's visiting us. By planting native trees and protecting the environment, we've actually seen a lot of animals that have come back to the area. We've seen hedgehogs, chameleons, different kinds of local lizards, and in the dry season, we have lots of rat hares that come to us because they know it's a safe place. We're not going to hunt them, and there's lots of either insects or plants that they can eat. Great. Okay, now we're going to talk real quickly about our projects. So I'd like to introduce a member of our board, Blair Thompson. Blair served with me in the Peace Corps from 2015 to 2017, and she was in the village of Tantwatra, where she's worked really hard. She's still working on supporting a community health center there. Blair currently works for SunPower, which is a company that works on providing solar power to businesses. So without further ado, Blair, would you be able to unmute yourself and say hello?
Yes, hi everyone. Like Michael mentioned, my name is Blair. Currently work for a large solar manufacturer and installer. We do both commercial and residential. Based in San Francisco, but I live in Austin. right now. And like Michael said, I was very fortunate to serve in Togo at the same time that he did. I think our villages were about 2 hours of travel apart. It was a 25-minute motorcycle ride, then a 30-minute car ride, then another 25-minute motorcycle ride, then a 30-minute hike to get to Michael's village from mine. So I'm really excited to be speaking to you guys today about some of our projects. You know, serving in Togo was, as I'm sure other, you know, Peace Corps volunteers on the line can attest, was, you know, a very important experience for me. I loved working on the projects that I did and with the people that I did, and, you know, just being able to be part of this organization has been great to stay just connected to the global mission of sustainable farming and, you know, food insecurity issues around the world, and then also just being able to more personally stay connected to my little piece of Togo and to everyone, you know, everyone that I was able to work with while I was there and still speak to on a weekly basis even today. So I will spend a few minutes kind of going through some of the big projects that we've been working on with PISCES. So this first slide here, and I know it was touched on a little bit in the video prior, but camps are a huge part of what PISCES Togo does to provide education opportunities and just general skill building opportunities for youth in the region. So PISCES hosts youth nature camps for high school students every summer. This past summer, we were able to host 11 young women for a 3-day camp. As Michael mentioned, with the, you know, the gender inequality in the region, it's very rare for a young woman to be able to spend 3 days away from the family. And so it's a huge opportunity for them to come and get to know other young women in the region. So campers learn valuable skills like compost making and tree nursery preparation. Everyone gets to plant their own tree and, you know, are able to see kind of the process of agroforestry in action, and learning about how reforestation can impact not only, you know, small scale farming, but also climate more broadly. I think next we have a short video to play.
Allez les filles, 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 allez les filles. On fait comme ça, 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 on fait comme ça. Allez les filles, allez les filles, allez les filles, allez les filles.
So I think, you know, I think that one of the highlights of these camps, especially for those that attend, are just the opportunity to provide spaces for kids to be kids and, you know, to be able to learn in a safe and fun environment. So this summer, we also hosted 10 boys to attend the same nature camp, and were able to provide certificates so that they can, you know, commemorate their time there and just show kind of the accomplishments and skill buildings that they were able to achieve. Next slide. So additionally, campers use recycled water packets to plant tree seedlings. This is called a pépinière or small tree nursery. We also gave them the opportunity to have fun and to, you know, show their artistic sides. During the Boys Week, the campers drew stories from their communities, and during the Girls Week, they drew murals with the prompt of imagining what their futures might be like. So that was a cool way to decorate the roundhouses and to allow the campers to, again, just kind of have fun and express themselves.
Triple.
And now I think we have another short video. That was a short bonk, which are commonly used in Togolese schools as well as our camps, to just celebrate, you know, anything, celebrate learning, celebrate accomplishments. So that is what you were seeing there. So another project that we provide each summer geared towards youth is a 2-month-long internship program. And these are primarily opportunities for high school and college students. Our stipends help our students purchase materials for school. And then, like Michael mentioned earlier, it also provides a safe alternative to other jobs that they might seek during the summer vacation that are alternatives to things like gold mining. And we have hosted 10 interns so far, teaching them valuable skills such as soil conservation, composting, reforestation. This is Justine. She was our very first intern, and she is still working with us today. And then Albert, he has also returned to work with us during his summer break for a couple years in a row now. So these are our kind of first initial and current interns still today.
Great, Blair, thank you so very much for covering all those projects. And thank you for all that you do. And it's been, it's a pleasure working with you. Great, up next, we're gonna have Molly, who's also served with, we all serve together in Peace Corps. She's currently working for the United States Department of Agriculture as a part of their SNAP program. And she's gonna just talk about a few more projects. So Molly, thank you for being here and take it away.
Thanks, Michael. It's so great to see all of the interns and the students that get to work with PISCES. It's really such a meaningful experience for them and invaluable opportunity. But the impact of PISCES is even bigger than that, because we take a lot of time and effort to work with local farmers and demonstrate different techniques that people can learn through experiential lessons and see how to be more sustainable in farming and how to regenerate the soil. Here you can see some farmers making compost, which is a great technique that can be done using local resources and really improves the soil for those farmers. And another, go to the next slide, Michael. Another tool that we use is the ecological broad fork. And what's really wonderful about the broad fork is that it, again, is made using local resources. It's a simple technology that can significantly improve the soil quality. It aerates the soil, allowing water to go down deeper. And that's really important. Like Michael mentioned, desertification is a huge issue in West Africa as a whole, and especially in northern Togo, where year after year the soil becomes drier and harder. So these tools, breaking up the soil, mixing in compost, using sustainable techniques really helps us and really helps the farmers to rebuild that soil health and improve their yields over time. And what's also great is that we make these broad forks in Togo, and that way we're employing local makers and allowing farmers there to actually use them and make a difference in their unique communities. And yeah, like I said, it makes the soil better, which is good for drought resistance and water retention as well. Here you could see a classroom of local farmers who've come from typically rural areas in the region, not necessarily very close. You'll see soon a lot of them have traveled quite some distance to get here. It's really nice to have those meetings under the trees and take in that natural environment and get that time and space to, just appreciate nature and what's so good about trees. They keep the air cool. A lot of them are nitrogen fixing. They're improving the soil as well. And it's just a wonderful way to connect with the farmers and the lessons that are being taught. But what's really important is that we don't want people to just sit and learn, because we know that's not always very effective. It's really good to have hands-on opportunities for farmers and the students to learn these different techniques and to have that experience of doing it and asking questions, that trial and error. So when we do different activities, we'll have sometimes demonstrations and activities going 2 or 3 at a time. That way people can walk around, see what interests them, see where they have questions, and ask those questions and just really engage in the content and the material of what we're teaching. And yeah, and so like I said, a lot of these farmers are traveling from remote villages where transportation isn't a guarantee. It's not easy to get in or out of those villages sometimes. So PISCES helps to organize transportation. This group of people, these farmers, they're traveling from Nagu, which means that they have an hour ride in this tricycle bike ahead of them, and then an hour-long walk after that as well. So you could tell that they are appreciating how valuable these lessons are and this experience and these opportunities to work with PISCES and take those lessons and those skills and resources back to their homes and implement them. And yeah, in this photo you can see everyone is learning by doing the process of making regenerative planting beds, which is again another technique that we use to break up the soil, add in that good material that's been depleted, those beneficial bacteria and the spongy, loamy materials that a good soil has. We put it back into the soil and we plant trees, and that way we can the farmers can implement agroforestry systems into their own fields, improving the soil, providing shade, as well as resources. They'll be growing food and other products that they can sell, agricultural products. But also, sometimes it's just good to grow some trees so that you have a good source of firewood and you're not chopping down other trees. And there's just so many benefits to it. And over time, by building up the soil like this, it just continues to improve year after year, improving yields and the nutrition of the food you grow as well, which is just wonderful. And on that note, another huge project that we focus on at PISCES is reforestation. We've successfully planted and maintained over 9,000 trees, which is huge in an area where deforestation is rampant and escalating in many cases. It's really important to show that you can plant trees and you can keep them alive and healthy and take in those benefits of the trees for years to come. And they also, help with soil, water retention, erosion control. They enrich and cool the soil. And I didn't even mention another problem for trees is that there's a lot of livestock, a lot of these farming techniques for animal husbandry, as well as burning of fields, fires. It's very hard to keep your trees alive. So the fact that we've been able to maintain these 9,000 trees is really impressive. I'm really proud of Kareem and the farmers for all that they've done to make that happen. And yeah, it's just really important. And we don't want to keep these trees to ourselves. We want them spread out all over Togo. So we work with the farmers that come to our lessons and other farmers in the area who are interested. We share our tree seedlings with them. We show them how to make their own tree nursery. And that way, tree planting is something that everyone can engage in and benefit from. And you'll see in the next photo, our wonderful co-director, Kareem, is modeling the beautiful tree nursery that he's built here, reusing some plastic waste, which is another problem in West Africa and Togo in particular. And it's just another way to reduce our impact. And so by growing these trees, we can, you know, do a lot for the area in collaboration with all of the other projects and everyone who's helping us. So thank you, Kareem, for your amazing work.
Great. Thank you, Molly, for covering those wonderful projects. It's a pleasure working with you. I think that's everything that we have for projects. Great. So real quick, we're going to go over some more raffle items that are in our baskets. I forgot to mention before that all donations made to PISCES are tax deductible. So you'll receive a receipt with the amount of the donation. And the vast majority, more than 90% of the donation goes directly towards work on the ground. So you really are having a direct impact, and it is tax deductible. So yes, great. In addition to the traditional fabric that we also have some of the more contemporary, conventional fabric that people use. The word in French is pagne. And you can see here that it's pretty ubiquitous. If anytime there's a training or a formal event, or really just you're going to the market, it's something that a lot of people wear. And I mean, people will wear everything from skirts to shirts to pants to suits, such as what I'm mailing. People use it for head wraps, towels, everything. To me, it's just so colorful and such a good representation of the personality and the character of the people there. I mean, really, if you go into a market, you see pagne everywhere. You see this colorful fabric everywhere, and it really helps brighten the mood. You can see here, it's used as formal wear. This is a picture of the Rotary Club of Dapong. And you can even customize it so you can have different fabrics for different events. If there's a wedding, a lot of times an entire family will have the same fabric, so they're all matching. And you can do lots of fun things, such as the suit that I'm wearing now, and a few of the other shirts that I've made over the years. So great thing. If you win the raffle basket, we can talk and try and find a way that you can either make pillowcases or curtains, or we can kind of brainstorm some ideas, some ways that you could use this fabric to really showcase it. We also have a handmade stuffed toy elephant that was made by the artist Jagba Jean. And she works for the boutique called Kodani, which is a cooperation of persons living with physical disabilities. So some of the profits of the sales of these goods go to supporting the work that they're doing to make sure that people with disabilities are able to live a full lifestyle in Togo. Right, and she's going to give us a quick tour as well.
Cette boutique est installée dans la région des Savanes en 2009. Le siège se trouve à Niamoutougou. Mais dans la boutique ici, nous avons des batiks, des cartes, des sacs batiks, des serviettes, des tabliers, des nappes, des draps d'huile. Tout ce qui est de batik d'art, nous avons ça dans la boutique ici.
Great. So you can hear it's pretty loud. That's the boutique is in downtown Dapong, which is a busy city. Lots of motorcycles and people coming by. But yeah, all the items there are handmade. It's made with this style of dyeing called batik, which is wax dyeing. So basically, you paint the wax onto a fabric, dye it, and then you kind of melt the wax off. So you get these really cool patterns. And the elephant that we have was handmade in this boutique. Great. So those are some of the items in a raffle basket. We also have fans, some clay jars, some necklaces, some little keychains, everything like that. And of course, you get the basket that it comes in. Again, all donations are tax deductible. We've got a few more moments for making donations. We have a lot of plans for the future. Of course, we want to continue and expand upon the current programs that we're doing, such as our trainings, our youth nature camps, our internships, and reforestation, planting trees. We're currently working on setting up 6 satellite sites to kind of expand our impact and make it so that more people can kind of see the work that we're doing. So these are our site leaders. We think that it's really important to have equal amounts of women and men who are site leaders to kind of promote gender equity. So basically these site leaders come to trainings at our main sites and then collaborate with us to apply these techniques on their own fields and in their own communities. So that way people can kind of see the impacts. We really believe that, you can tell someone a million times to do something, but that's probably not going to work. But if, you're able to show them an alternative, a different way of farming that works, they're more likely to ask questions, want to learn from you, and then work together. And we learn a lot from our site leaders. I mean, they take these techniques and then they try them on their own places and they tweak them, make adjustments, try new things, do it with different plants. So we're constantly swapping ideas, techniques, seeds, trees, all that kind of stuff. So really by having a larger network, we think we're able to expand our impact, and we're constantly learning as well. Great. One of the other really big things that we're trying to do is in the next year or two, set up another site into the neighboring region of Kara. Dapong is pretty far north, and therefore, takes a while to get to. Kara is a little bit more centrally located, and there's a lot of NGOs and nonprofits that are active in the area. We also think that it'll make our work more accessible to international travelers, because a lot of people come to Kara for tourism or whatever reason. So we'd really like to kind of set up an additional site at Kara to kind of showcase this work and further expand the things that we're doing. And the truth is, in basically most of Togo, there's problems with agriculture and soil depletion. So it'll kind of allow us to continue our work in another place. All right. I think that's it. Last call for donations. You can see there our PayPal and Venmo links. Yeah, last call for donations. We're going to take a few questions, have a short break, and then we'll draw the winner of the raffle. So without further ado, do we have any questions? I saw Akshay had a question about the trees that we plant, which I'll answer in a second. But if you have any other questions, please feel free to write them in the chats. Great. Yes, like I said, Akshay asked what kind of trees do we plant in Togo? A lot of the trees, we plant two kinds of trees. We plant native trees. There's a lot of acacia species that are native to northern Togo that unfortunately are kind of disappearing just because of farming and overgrazing. So we try to find these trees either from seeds or find the seedlings, take them to our botanical garden and kind of protect them so that we can promote diversity. And then we also label these trees and kind of tell people what their like medicinal purposes are, just so that people like to increase the value of these trees. We also plant a lot of what are called nitrogen fixing trees, which are trees that are able to actually take nitrogen from the air and then with through a symbiotic relationship with bacteria, are able to take that nitrogen that's in the air that's pretty much inaccessible and convert it to organic nitrogen. If you know anything about agriculture, planting, nitrogen is one of the main nutrients that plants need to grow. And it's usually rather depleted in soils. So by planting these trees, we're able to create a completely natural organic source of nitrogen, and we don't have to use chemical fertilizer. So most of our trees that we plant in our agroforestry systems are nitrogen fixing trees so that we can create compost and use the leaves from these trees to enrich the soil. All right, let me take a quick look. Yes, thank you, Eric. PISCES does own the land that we own 10 acres of land where we're currently at, because we wanted the autonomy to be able to practice these techniques. But at the satellite sites, these are farmers working on their own land. So they're taking these techniques and they're using a small portion of their land to kind of demonstrate things, because we don't want people to, transition the entire way that they do agriculture without really knowing if it works. So we recommend that people, come see the techniques, try these techniques on a small portion of their fields. And, if they're successful, if they work, then they can kind of expand it out. But we of course want people to be able to feed themselves. So we're not recommending that everyone just completely stop, their farming and then try this new thing. We just want people to try and learn a little bit. And then we collaborate and troubleshoot things together. One more. Great. Yes. Our plan for bringing this concept to scale, Amy. Yeah, we're working on partnering with larger NGOs. There's also a lot of other, there's a few other organizations in the area that are doing this kind of work. So we're constantly collaborating with them and partnering with them to share resources. So we may, demonstrate some of our techniques on their sites and then kind of take some of their techniques and demonstrate on ours. So we want to plan, we want to scale up through collaboration and working with others. Great. Yes, the land where Pisces, I'm sorry, I don't see who that's from. Oh yeah, Eric. Yes, the land where Pisces is situated was historically forest and has now kind of become more of a savanna environment. And so we're kind of trying to, we want to reforest some parts of it, so like actual forest, but other parts of it, we're going to kind of have it be in this agroforestry system. So we'll have trees that are kind of spaced out, and then we can have our annual cereal crops underneath it. But we really want to focus on promoting biodiversity, both of, native plants and animals, and also the crops that we grow. You see a lot of times if you drive around in rural areas, you see like fields of corn and it's just corn. Those kind of systems rely on a lot of outside inputs, such as chemical fertilizers, chemical pesticides, and chemical herbicides. But by promoting a diversity of different plants, such as, you can plant corn, beans, and squash together, and like the three sisters models that was used in a lot of indigenous communities on the East Coast, you kind of promote the health of all the plants together and really reduce your reliance upon these chemicals. All right. Any other questions? Thank you so much for the questions. They're fantastic. We really appreciate everyone's interest. And of course, this is a short intro. We have a lot more information on our website, togopisces.com. You can also feel free to email me at any time, give me a call with any questions, and we'd be happy to work or collaborate with you, whatever you do. Great. I think that's it. No more donations. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to have a dance competition between three of our interns, Suma, Nufumdam, and Yendube. They're fantastic dancers. They'll be demonstrating what's known as the MOBA shake. So feel free to write in the chat who you think is the best dancer. And then after that, we'll come back and do the raffle drawing. Ok, c'est bon, bien dansé, ok, voilà, bon, allez-y. C'est bon. On peut changer la chanson? Ou bien? C'est bon, ok.
Are you serious?
Hey, c'est bon. Tout ensemble. Allez-y, tout ensemble. Yeah, bro. Tournez. Wow. C'est plus de danser. Oh, all right, thank you. Sorry, just a little bit of fun. It looks like it's a close tie between Yendube and Nufundam. Sorry, we're still getting the raffle ready. Just one more second. We want to thank everyone for coming. We also want to thank our interns. Those 3 interns, as well as Dindiog, were with us for 2 months over the summer, and they helped with everything from, preparing our planting beds with the broad fork, helping us with weeding, tree planting, covering our beds with straw, planting everything from corns to millet to peanuts to soy to hibiscus, all that kind of stuff, cactuses, bananas. And they're really a joy to have at the site. And we really like collaborating with, high school students and college students because they bring a lot of energy to our sites. In the video, you saw a few of our roundhouses. These are roundhouses that are made with adobe clay bricks, as well as straw roofs. So, using natural resources, it's how a lot of people live. They have kind of these compounds that they live together with their family. All right, without further ado, I believe we're ready for the raffle. Again, thank you so much for your donations. Make sure I mix them up nice and good. Drum roll, please. And the winner is, all right, I can't read my own handwriting. Believe it is, oh, well, there's the dog. 1 second. Allison DeCourcy. Allison DeCourcy is the winner of our first raffle baskets. We'll actually be holding an in-person fundraiser next week in Virginia. If you're interested in coming, please feel free to shoot me a message if you're in the area. It's right near Mount Vernon, and we'll actually be raffling off 2 other baskets. So all the names that were entered in this raffle will be entered in those one again. So there's a chance that you may win. There's 2 more chances for you to win a raffle baskets. 1 second. Great. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks to your support, we have raised about $3,300 towards our goal of $5,000. So, we only have $700 more to go. We'll be holding the in-person fundraiser next week, and we're pretty sure we're going to meet our goal. So thank you so much for coming. Really, it means so very much. Please feel free to stay involved. That's my email. And there's also, on our website, we have all my contact information. You can also follow us on Instagram at TogoPisces1, and we have the same handle on Facebook at TogoPisces1. And if you visit our website, you can scroll down to the bottom, and there's actually a little link or a little box so you can put in your email, and you can subscribe to our blog. So you can receive, photo updates, just on whatever we're doing, whether that is building roundhouses for our goats and chickens, trying a new technique such as, creating seed balls or soil blocks. We're constantly trying new things. We're constantly innovating, and we're constantly seeing really cool animals that come to visit our site and see what we're doing. So really, thank you so much. I can't say thank you enough. We really appreciate it. And I guess that's it. Enjoy your Saturday. Thank you for spending it with us. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks,
Thanks, y'all.
Yay.